Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing on this fine, okay day in Central Florida? I am pleased and happy to share that the Rick Nielsen's The Doctor guitar number 2 is in the drawing phase. So this time around, I'm going to try to make it as close and as accurate to the original Rick Nielsen guitar as possible. This is just some mock-up parts. Oh yeah. Good morning, everybody. It is February 10th, 2023, and I'm happy to share that the Rick Nielsen The Doctor number 2 guitar is in the drawing phase, and it is looking awesome. I really enjoyed making the first one. This is a recreation of Rick Nielsen's The Doctor guitar off the Doctor album from Cheap Trick. If you've ever seen this, you can Google it. It's a really cool shaped guitar. It's basically, color is white with some red parts and some black parts, and all these graphics I'm going to hand paint. Like I said, and the neck, this is just a mock-up neck. I'm going to use a banana shape headstock, Gibson style headstock, 22 fret, 25.5 scale length, and active EMG 81. It's just a mock-up bridge. I ordered a really good bridge for this. It's going to be a square input jack, and it's going to be about right there. And I do believe that the strap buttons are here and then on the back of the neck. So I'm going to make sure that, when we get to that stage, that it hangs properly and there's absolutely zero neck dive in it. We can get everything dialed in and playing perfectly. But yeah, this is going to be really fun. Next step is going to be to get the wood. I'm going to go to Lowe's. I got to get some wood for a different project as well, and get the wood. And I'm going to try to use a little bit denser but lighter wood on this build. That way this guitar is going to probably be a range of 7 to 9 pounds, so it'll be considerably lighter from the first one that I made. The first one I made is upwards of 13 pounds, which is kind of heavier, but I did use heavier, denser wood back then, and I'm going to try to use a little bit lighter wood this time so it plays well and it's light enough that you can play it for an hour or two and not have your back or neck in a string. But alright, hope everybody's having a good center of the week. And like I said, I look forward to building this guitar. So I'll take you with me to Lowe's, and we'll go ahead and pick out the parts and everything, pick out the wood that we're going to use. I think I'm going to go with 2 layers of 1/2 inch and the same wood that I used on the Gremlins Spike guitar, which that's a really good wood, really high quality. It's made for cabinets, whatnot. We're going to make guitar. So, alright. And we will see you next step. We will see you soon. I'll go up there later on today and get some wood. And this, like I said, this is going to be super fun. So we will see you on the next step, and we'll see you then. Alright, continuing work on the Doctor number 2 guitar. We actually have the wood in the garage, so don't have to go to Lowe's to get another section of wood. I've got plenty. So we're going to go ahead and use that, and it's really good quality wood. So next step is going to be, I traced out where I want to put the neck pocket. So I've got the neck drawn out, and the intonation line, I set the intonation line right there, those 2 marks. So that's going to be perfect, and it's perfectly balanced. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the cutout, and we'll see when I get that done. Alright, got the cutout cut out and looking pretty cool. Very cool shape. Alright, so let me go out in the garage and figure out the wood situation, and I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, we're outside, but we moved inside. We got a little bit rained out today, and I got my main piece on the bottom, the good one, and I got my cut out, but it's backwards. So we're going to go ahead and trace it. I elected to go with a little bit denser wood on the very bottom, the 1/4 inch wood, and then we've got 1 inch of the good board from Lowe's. So we're going to go ahead and trace this backwards and cut out the shape. So this is going to be really cool. So I got the scroll saw. Like I said, we're indoors. So let me go ahead and tape this down and trace out the pattern, and then we'll get the scroll saw. Well, actually, we'll have to join the 2 pieces temporarily together, and then we'll get out the scroll saw, and then we'll get it going. All right, see you in a little bit. All right, got the 2 pieces fastened together. Now let me turn them over, and then we'll get the shape on there, and then we'll trace out where I'm going to cut. We'll get the scroll saw going, and we'll cut it out, and it'll be awesome. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, got the shape traced out. Looks pretty good. Got the scroll saw out, and fingers crossed we have a steady hand. We're going to cut it out. We'll see in a little bit. Alright, very cool. The Doctor shape, the Doctor number 2 shape has been cut out, and the guitar is born. Yeah, it looks pretty killer. And it's the perfect thickness, I think. It's probably about 1.25 inches, I'm thinking. Maybe somewhere around there. Perfect. And it's definitely lighter. It's still got some girth to it. I might do a little bit of channeling, some weight relief in non-essential areas, nowhere near, all the good, the stuff or the electronics. So I might go ahead and channel out on the top piece, on the back, channel out some weight relief, and that'll make it even lighter, but still maintain the firmness and integrity. All right, so next step is going to get, just wanted to show you how cool this turned out. It's a very oblong, but I'm gonna have to go actually weigh it and see how much this weighs, just the blank body by itself. Because like I said earlier, the first one, the body, the whole guitar was like 13 pounds, and that's like super heavy. So, all right, so we'll get the orbital sander out, and then first I'll clean up my mess, of course, and then we'll get all these lines perfect, and then we'll get the Dremel and put an edge, a real soft edge on all the bits, and we'll get that done, and we'll see you in a little bit. All right, just a summary of today's progress on the Doctor number 2 guitar. Turned out really good. It's looking amazing. I can't wait to get this guitar going. But yeah, as I showed earlier, we did the weight relief, and I did weigh it, and believe it or not, it's at 7.2 pounds, which is perfect. I mean, that little bit, it was like 1/8 of a pound, that weight relief. And I don't want to take any more, like I said earlier, from this point here and down here, because I want the stability of, the strap button. But I am going to take some more from here and more from here. I'd like to get it down to 6 to 6.5 pounds, which will be awesome, because that way when the neck's on it and everything else like that, then it'll bring the total weight to the guitar to 8 to 9 pounds, which would be perfect, right in the ballpark. So believe it or not, I mean, 3 pounds doesn't seem like a lot, but it does make a big difference. And I did compare the the second copy to the first copy, and I can't get close enough because there's stuff in my way, but they're the shape and the proportions are identical, which is really cool. But of course, as always, I'm always trying to perfect my process, so I'm going to try to make this finish the best it can possibly be. So as I showed you earlier, we did the Bondo filler on the back just to kind of fill it in, and I'll do another few coats of it before we get to the actual ugly phase. Another reason I didn't want to get weight relief in this section, because that's where I'll figure out exactly where I place the 9-volt battery compartment for the EMG 81. So, and then the access panel plate's going to be somewhere over there. But all right, so this will conclude today's progress on the Doctor number 2 guitar. Hope everybody's having a good end of the week. Looking forward to the weekend, and we will see you tomorrow. We'll continue working. Hopefully it won't be raining, but if it is, we've got the garage we can work in. So, but yeah, it's looking pretty amazing. So, all right, we'll talk to you soon. Good morning, everybody. It's February 12th, 2023, and another quick update on the Doctor number 2 electric guitar. All the preliminary sanding and weight relief have been completed. I really can't do any further work on it until I get the neck and the other parts, because that's crucial to the next steps. But I just wanted to show you how the sanding turned out really cool. And here's the results of the weight relief, which is really cool. So channeled out those chambers, and I left wood in the area, so it's very stable. But it's definitely, I'm happy to report that the guitar is actually 7 pounds now, and it feels definitely lighter, which is definitely a plus. So all right, so this concludes progress on this for a couple days until the neck comes. Pretty much got all the other parts, just waiting on the neck, and we'll get that going. In the meantime, weather permitting, today we're going to put some 2K clear coat on the Gremlins electric guitar. and definitely start working on the Ninja Warrior number 5 guitar. And as you recall, we did the George Lynch Ninja Warrior 1, the anodized blue, the Slimer Ninja Warrior where it's slimed and it has that, you know, that well played feel, and then the diamond plate, which I love the diamond plate one. This plays amazing, and that guitar turned out so awesome. So if you want to see, you know, go back in the archive and just search on my Facebook page the diamond plate Ninja Warrior number 4 guitar. That was the 4th one. So we'll get that going, and hope everybody's having a good weekend. It's the end of the week, Sunday. So we will see you soon. And like I said, I'll be starting on those other 2 projects here shortly. So, all right, we'll see you in a little bit. All right, got the circular orbiter sander out, and I got the body getting ready to smooth all the edges. Oh yeah, don't you just love rainy days? But yeah, I have the ability to work in here. I'm just getting my little baby dusty, but it can be cleaned. So, all right, so we'll see you when I start making these edges nice and perfect. See you. All right, got all the edges nice and good, perfect, and I'll perfect them more as I go. But yeah, she's looking amazing. And I can't really do any further as far as the neck and everything until I get the neck, and I'll set the bridge, and I'll figure out where the pickup's gonna go and all the good stuff, and then set where the pedometer's gonna go and do all that. So yeah. So next step we can do today is to get the Dremel and do a beautiful soft edge, slight soft edge on the front and the back, and we'll knock that out. And then I can fill in any imperfections as far as the wood too with some Bondo body filler, especially on the back, because I elected to go with a little bit of that harder wood. So I'll fill all this this roughness with the body filler and sand it and make it all perfect. And especially when you get the ugly phase 1 and 2, we'll make that perfect. Since I was a top load bridge, we don't have to worry about any back cavities, just the pedometer cavity and then the 9-volt battery cavity. And I'll probably put that in exact same spots as, and then the input jack, of course, and that's going to be towards the top of this little section. And then when I get all that, I'll figure it out. I'll set those where the 9-volt battery is, you know, where I did it the last time on the first one that I did. So, all right, it's looking pretty good so far. So we'll see when I get the Dremel out, and we'll start working on that. All right, cleaned up my mess. Now it's time to get the Dremel tool out and put a nice round edges on there. And I'll perfect all the edges as far as the sides, make them perfect as possible. And I did weigh it, by the way, and it's 7.5 pounds. So we are definitely coming in a lot lighter, which is great. And it'll probably be a pound or 2 with all the hardware, and the neck maybe 3 pounds. So I'll probably do some weight relief, like I said earlier. On the flip side of the top, I'll Dremel out, you know, some wood sections, because mainland support's got to be here. I'm sorry, here where the neck is, the pickup, and where the neck next to the body. So all this back here, with the exception of the channel going to the input jack, I can weight relief. So it's pretty cool, and I won't make it really super thin or anything. So I'll take out quite a bit. I'm guessing I'll figure all that out, and maybe a little bit on the other side of the channel, and I can even do a little up there, so it could be a lot lighter and a lot more player friendly when you want to play it for quite a, you know, you could play it the whole night if you wanted to. So all right, so let me get the tool out and we'll be right back. All right, got my router style Dremel bit, and it just puts a soft edge in my Dremel tool. And let me go ahead and make these sharp edges nice and rounded and feel good. So all right, we'll see that. We'll see when I get that complete. Alrighty, perfect. Yeah, the edges turned out really good. Now I'll do the exact same thing to the other side. Wow, that's cool. And like I'll probably say a million times, so sorry if you hear me saying this, but I'll perfect this more and make these edges and the lines as straight as possible. So now let me flip it over and do the exact same thing to the back. All right, we'll see when I get that done. Yeah, one actually thing too, I'm curious on how the shape actually, I know the shape's the same, but as far as the size, to the first guitar that I've done, and I'm really falling in love with the shape. I mean, the second time around, I have a little different perspective because I've already, made this guitar once. So yeah, I'm curious. When we get later on, when we get to the bedroom, I'll put them both next to each other side by side, and we'll see sister doctor, the doctor twins. So that'd be pretty cool. All right, let me flip it over and do that, and we'll see in a little bit. I completed the back, and it feels awesome and looks awesome. And I didn't do too much around the top of the neck heel here because I might have to reshape it when the neck comes just to make it. I'm going to dial it in and make it perfect. So there's no need to do that because I have to recut it. If I have to recut or trim it a little bit, then I'll do that then. I'm going to go ahead, since how I'm still feeling pretty good and it's still raining outside, I'm going to go ahead and get the Bondo out. I'm going to fill in all these spots and make the back look as perfect as possible. It's probably going to take about another, I don't know how many days it's going to take to get the neck. They said 2 to 7 days to get the neck, and that's what I need to get further as far as the, all the wiring and all the, all the guts, the innards and all the guts. So I'll have to wait for that. But in the meantime, I could be doing the, I'm working on the Gremlins guitar. That's got 2K clear coat to go on it when I'm able to, as far as the weather. But I'm going to go ahead and get all these perfect, and then I'm going to do the weight relief because I know where the neck's going to go. I've got my intonation line as far as all that's concerned. So let me get some Bondo and then fill in some, and make this real smooth and flat and perfect. All right, let me do that, and we'll see in a little bit. Applied the Bondo, and I always overdo it, and I'm sure I'll probably do more layers, but I always try to make each finish that I do the best that it could possibly be. So this is just the first step. So while this is fully curing, I'm going to separate the two pieces, the top and the bottom, and then we're going to try to figure out where exactly to do the weight relief. And since I already got my Dremel out, let's go ahead and do some weight relief. So we'll see in a little bit. All right, got two pieces separated, and this is where the volume knob's going to go. And I do believe that the input jack is going to be in this vicinity right here, so it'll probably be a channel such as that, and then this will be here, and then connect those two, and then the pickup will probably be in this general vicinity. So I don't want to mess with any of that, and I don't want to mess with any of this section here as far as weight relief is concerned. And there'll probably be a channel going from the pickup area to right there to the pedometer. So this is roughly, so all this other section are fair game. I want to kind of stay away from that right there and that right there as far as the bridge goes, because I want to give it plenty of, some ample wood so it's sturdy and it doesn't have anything, it doesn't affect the neck. I'll make it a little further back. That way, give it a little. So I'm just doing kind of a rough sketch for right now where I'm going to weight relief. So I'll probably go down, you figure this is an inch piece, so I'll probably go down a 1/2 inch. And same thing on this side. Give plenty of wood so that this is just rough. I'm just giving you kind of a rough. I'll refine it more. And then on this side I can do some weight relief to where I kind of take away from like this section, like right in here. Again, not really messing with any of the, getting close to where the bridge would, so I don't want to mess with any stability, and that way you don't have no issues as far as that's concerned, as far as the neck doing anything funny because of the string pressure tension. So this is going to be cool, and I can even take a little from this section down here, and that should give enough weight relief. But I don't want the guitar to be too light, because you still want a little girth in it, because you don't want any kind of neck dive. So all right, let me refine where I'm gonna try to do some weight relief, and we'll be back in a little bit. All right, drawing out the weight relief sections, and I did weigh it prior, both pieces, and it will just round up to 8 pounds. It's 8 pounds, and I still think we need to do a little bit more weight, some weight relief. So like I showed you before, all the different things. So I'm going to start off with this section up here, and for now I'll actually cut it just to that right there to give plenty of stability. So let me knock out that section and that section. Like I said, I'll probably get the Dremel, I'll Dremel down the tool, and I'll probably Dremel down maybe half maybe a little bit more than a 1/2 inch, and then give plenty of girth around the edges so when I go to glue the two pieces together and there's no issues there. Knock out those two pieces and then we'll put it on the scale and see where we are, and then we'll continue if we need to. All right, we'll see in a little bit. All right, now I got progress report. Looking pretty good. I bored out the weight relief. Mouth is dry, sorry. I decided not to take any more from here because that's where the strap button is going to go. It's going to go right there, the strap button. And I don't think I'm going to take any weight relief from here because when this fits together like that, which is very cool because all that weight relief is under, you know, you can't see it. I'm going to have the 9-volt battery compartment somewhere in this vicinity, and then the pedometer opening, so the access back panel. But I decided I am going to take some more weight relief from the top section here and the bottom section here, but I'll kind of do it like this to where it's kind of staggered to where I can glue and it still has support of the complete wood. So it, and you know, and I think it's going to be very resonant too. It's going to be really cool because this is going to be solid wood through here, but then I'm going to have the openings, and I'm really curious how it's going to affect. I mean, it's an EMG active pickup, and you can't, you know, as far as hollow bodies and all that other stuff, it really doesn't affect tone as far as all that goes. But I think it's going to be really neat to have when this is all routed out and everything like that, because it is quite a bit. With just that little bit, I can already feel it's quite a bit lighter. There's definitely a lot of, I got a lot of cleaning up to do, a lot of sawdust. But anyway, and the good thing about working in the garage is I can pretty much leave the majority of this out, because when I was working out back, I always cleaned up after every day's work, and you know, have to bring it all, you know, just saves us a little bit of stuff. I mean, I'll definitely clean all this up and organize everything, but this will probably conclude progress today. But I'll take this in the other room and then compare it to the other body of the completed guitar. So, and it'll be pretty cool. But all right, let me clean up a little bit and we'll see you in a sec. All right, got the majority of the mess cleaned up and we are good to go. I got the body in the other room, and I'll see you when I get over there. I'll be right back. All right, just a summary of today's progress on the Dr. No. 2 guitar. Turned out really good. It's looking amazing. I can't wait to get this guitar going. But yeah, as I showed earlier, we did the weight relief, and I did weigh it, and believe it or not, it's at 7.2 pounds, which is perfect. I mean, that little bit, it was like 1/8 of a pound, that weight relief. And I don't want to take any more, like I said earlier, from this point here and down here, because I want the stability of, you know, the strap button. But I am going to take some more from here and more from here. I'd like to get it down to 6 to 6.5 pounds, which will be awesome, because that way when the neck's on it and everything else like that, then it'll bring the total weight to the guitar to 8 to 9 pounds, which would be perfect, right in the ballpark. So believe it or not, I mean, 3 pounds doesn't seem like a lot, but it does make a big difference. And I did compare the the second copy to the first copy, and I can't get close enough because there's stuff in my way, but they're the shape and the proportions are identical, which is really cool. But of course, as always, I'm always trying to perfect my process, so I'm going to try to make this finish the best it can possibly be. So as we show, you know, I showed you earlier, we did the Bondo filler on the back just to kind of fill it in, and I'll do another few coats of it before we get to the actual ugly phase. Another reason I didn't want to get weight relief in this section, because that's where I'll figure out exactly where I place the 9-volt battery compartment for the EMG 81. So, and then the access panel plate's going to be somewhere over there. But all right, so this will conclude today's progress on the Dr. No. 2 guitar. Hope everybody's having a good end of the week. Looking forward to the weekend, and we will see you tomorrow. We'll continue working. Hopefully it won't be raining, but if it is, we've got the garage we can work in. So, but yeah, it's looking pretty amazing. So, all right, we'll talk to you soon. Good morning, everybody. It is February 16th, 2023. Wow, time is flying by. And as you can see, it's time to get started again on the Dr. Electric guitar. The parts that we've been waiting for have come in. I received the neck for this guitar. It's a full maple with a rosewood fretboard. but it's going to be painted anyway. So, but it is maple. It's made out of maple, and it's hard maple, so it's amazing. It's hard, and it's good, and it's the proper shape. And we're gonna figure out exactly where I'm going to put the bridge is according to the original guitar itself. And I'm looking at pictures that I have of this guitar, and I want to try to figure out exactly the correct position of the bridge. So I'm gonna make the bridge line, and I've got my carbon paper, and I've got my measurements, and that way the original guitar is 24 frets, and the version I'm going to be doing has 22 frets. That's the only really difference that's gonna be as far as specs are concerned. So I'd like to get all this exactly correct as far as where the pickup is going to go and everything like that. Well, just in general, because that way when I do the graphic, I want everything to match up perfectly. So, all right, so we're going to get that going. And I did initially draw the line right there on the cutout. So we're going to figure out exactly where the bridge is going to go. And we're gonna get a lot done today. We're gonna install the neck, we're gonna install the bridge, we're gonna cut open the pickup cavity, we're gonna do all the wiring, we're gonna do the input jack, we might get into the glue phase, do some Bondo on the body and start working that. We're gonna try to get as far as we can. It's about 7:30 in the morning right now. Outside it's cloudy, but I don't think there's any rain in the forecast, so we're good to go. So let me go ahead and get this going, and I'll see you in a sec. Okay, my initial assumption of where the pickup and the bridge would be is absolutely correct. Got my intonation line right there. And as you recall, this neck is 25.5 scale length. So we're going to be good to go. And that's where the pickup ring, and basing by the picture, that looks about the correct spacing. So we're good to go. So yeah, so that intonation line and proportion and everything like that is perfect. So all right. So next step, we're going to take everything. Well, let me get the, go ahead and trace out with my tracing paper and just give me a general idea where the bridge is going to go and where I want the pickup to go. And then we'll see you outside. Alright, it's got everything staged, and I thought it'd be cool just to show where everything's going to go. And of course, the knob. I got the knobs in the mail as well, which I only need one of them, but you know, you got to order 4, but they're in there, so. Pretty cool. And I got the square input jack, which is awesome. We're gonna go with the pure tone input jack, so that's gonna have the 2 connectors. But yeah, that's gonna be cool. What did I do with the? I gotta find my. I gotta find them. Oh, there's one. Yeah, and the knob. That's gonna be cool. Alright, we'll move everything outside and we'll see in a bit. We'll get going. We'll cut off the neck pocket and get the tendon and all that, so we'll see you outside. Alright, move the operation outside. Oh, it's fine. Cloudy, overcast, Central Florida day. Hopefully we don't get no rain. Hope not. Looks like the clouds are moving, and we'll see. Alright, so first order of business is to cut out the neck pocket. I think I got the neck dialed in pretty good where it needs to be, and I did mark my intonation line and a rough line of where the neck's gonna go. So let's get the neck out and let's trace it out and measure it out and figure out where we're gonna cut the neck pocket. Got the scroll saw right there. All right, we'll see in a little bit. All right, got the neck pocket marked out where I'm gonna cut it. So let me get the scroll saw going and we're gonna cut this out. We'll see in a little bit. Alright, perfect cutout of the neck pocket, and I've got it dialed in where it needs to be as far as the height goes. And this bridge, a really high quality top load Strat style bridge. I love that, and it's cool. It's got like a really low profile to the neck. So I got to figure out the neck tendon spacings. So let me do that, and we'll be right back. Alright, perfect glue into the neck tendon. Looks amazing, awesome. Alright, let's put the neck on and get the bridge back, and then do the string test and see how we did. See in a bit. Alright, got the neck tendon dialed in, and it is perfect. Wow. And see it being so close to the body, that low profile. I did the string test, so we're perfect. It's going to make it play just amazing, kind of like a Strat body. So, alright, so next step is going to be to actually fasten the 2 pieces together and then attach the neck with the back cover plate, and we'll get that done and we'll see in a little bit. I got two pieces temporarily affixed together with 3 screws in places that are not in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and reshape the neck pocket real quick. Just the outer pieces, make it more perfect. All right, we'll see it. I got traced out perfectly, and this is the neck plate. The way I do that is just kind of figure it and draw it out. So let me get the scroll saw back up and let's cut this out perfectly, and then we'll get ready to connect the neck to the body. All right, we'll see a little bit. All right, perfect reshaping of the neck pocket. That's pretty awesome. And I rounded around the back, so we're good to go. That looks beautiful. That is just perfect. All right, so let me get the neck reattached, and then we'll go ahead and install the neck. So get everything ready. That way when we install the bridge, everything will be perfectly placed. And the neck pocket's really tight. That's a really good thing, but I'm just worried that when the neck gets painted, I might have to just take a millimeter or 2 off here. That way it doesn't interfere with the paint that's going to be on the neck. So, all right, let's see in a second. All right, got my drill out to the perfect mark for the perfect depth. And we'll go ahead and attach the neck to the body. It's going to be cool. All right, we'll see you in a second. All right, quick update. A successful attachment to the neck to the body. And wow, that neck pocket is just so awesome. Wow, that just turned out really good. I guess just practice makes perfect. I mean, the more you do it, the better you get at it. But yeah, that pocket is just amazing. But yeah, here we go. The Doctor number 2 guitar is born. So cool. And you know, I keep hearing in my head that Cheap Trick song, I want you to want me, need you to need me. Anyway, alright, so let me remark my intonation line, make sure it hasn't changed at all, but that is just so cool. I love making guitars. Anyway, alright, the Doctor. Alright, we'll see you in a second. Alright, got my bridge up here. I got my holes marked out where the bridge is going to go, and then I'll double check that, and then I'll go ahead and pre-drill, and I've got my drill with the appropriate depth, and we'll get the bridge installed. We'll see you in a second. Alright, got the bridge installed and right perfectly on the intonation line, and I'm going to do a string test and double check, triple check all my measurements, because it's important that this guitar is very accurate, because it's going to be a played on stage and toured instrument. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Alright, the bridge installed perfectly. All the measurements are exact, and I gotta say that's the best neck joint I've ever done. But anyway, alright, so it's time to figure out where the pickup's gonna go. Roughly there. Looks about good to me. So let's go ahead and mark this, and then separate everything, dismantle everything, get the scroll saw back out, and then cut for the pickup. Alright, we'll see you in a second. Alright, got it drawn out where the pickup's gonna go. Looks pretty good. Alright, so let me get everything dismantled and separated, and we'll get this cut out. See you inside. It's coming together. Alright, got everything dismantled, looking pretty good. And you can always tell a good neck pocket is when everything is like perfectly symmetrical, which that is, so that's good. So I got my drill bit out. I'm gonna go ahead and make a pilot hole, and then we're gonna get the scroll saw and we're gonna cut out for the pickup cavity. Alright, we'll see in a little bit. Yeah, alright, cut out for the, alright, we'll get it cut out. Alright, successful cutout of the pickup cavity, and I left just a little bit of room, so if I need to adjust for here and there, but yeah, perfect. Alright, next step's going to be I'm going to get my drill, still got my drill. I'm going to drill a hole for the bridge ground, so we'll get that knocked out and I'll be right back. Alright, successful drill for and it's right in the center there, so it's perfect. Alright, so the next step's going to be to figure out where the pedometer is going to go. So let me get out my template, and then we'll figure that out, and then we'll drill through both pieces. Alright, we'll see you in a second. Alright, cut the hole through both pieces for the pedometer. There we go. Alright, now it's time to figure out the wiring and where the input jack is going to go. So let me get the input jack out and everything like that, and then we'll be right back. Alright, got the input jack all cut a exact washer for the depth. And I elected to go with a black metal one, and it's the True Tone input jack. So it's a stereo input jack for the active pickup. It's got 3 leads, as you see, and so the wiring's pretty straightforward on this one. It just goes from the pickup to the pedometer to the input jack, and then I'll probably put the 9-volt battery compartment somewhere in this area, and those are the only things to consider. I'm gonna have to look at the other guitar and figure out exactly how I shape the access panel plate and where I put the 9-volt battery compartment. We're gonna go with the shallower one this time, and I do believe this one is the open and pop it in. Let me get this out and I'll be right back. Alright, great. As far as the 9-volt battery compartment, I elected to go with the, you pop it up, you put your 9-volt battery in, and then you place it in there and snap it in, and it's convenient. So that's really cool. That's for ease of battery in and out, so that helps any guitar techs, whatever. Boom, boom, boom. So alright, so let me go ahead and get the Dremel bit out, and we'll go ahead and cut out for the wiring of this one, and we'll see in a little bit. You need that stuff? Alright, got all the wiring done. Pretty straightforward. All the dremeling for the pedometer, the input jack on both sides, and pretty straightforward. Yeah, pretty simple. I like it simple. Simple is good. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I looked at the other guitar, the first one, and I just did a standard circle, but I'm gonna countersink this time. I didn't countersink on the other one, and I think I'm gonna go with the 9-volt battery compartment, like right there, maybe a little bit right there. So what I'll do is I'll draw it out, so maybe a little bit higher, so it's kind of like in the girth of the wood, right there, and then I'll weave a track. But let me go ahead and draw it and then circle the input, and we'll be right back. Alright, cut the opening for the pedometer, and I installed on the back piece of wood the 9-volt battery compartment. And now what I'll do is I'll trace out the hole that I cut on the top piece, and then Dremel it out to the proper depth, and then make a channel to connect to the wiring system, and I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, channel for the 9-volt battery compartment. I countersunk with the back piece, the front piece, and going that way, so when the wires get fed through, they go to where they need to go. So let me put this together, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all put together. Alright, perfect. Now let me get the pickguard material, and let me draw out a perfect circle, and we're going to make a custom made perfect circle for that, and then we'll countersink it, make some holes, install it, and then we'll be ready for the glue phase. So we're making some good progress. Alright, we'll see in a little bit. Alright, got my 1-ply pickguard material, and we're going to cut the perfect circle. Got the bandsaw, and we'll see when we get that done. Alright, cut out the circle of pickguard material, and it's got the protective film on it still. Alright, so now I'll cover the hole centered perfectly, then I'll pencil align it and then score it with the X-Acto blade, and then go ahead and then cut it out with the Dremel tool, and then countersink it. I'll be right back. Alright, perfectly countersunk the access panel cover. Pretty cool. Alright. Next step is going to be to put some holes, 3 holes, and then install some screws. I'll be right back. Alright, perfectly installed the pedometer access panel cover. Perfectly countersunk the screws, and it looks pretty amazing. Alright, so we're getting close. Let me check over everything. We're ready to glue these two pieces together. Let me thoroughly make sure all the wiring is good to go. But yeah, and put some glue, and we can glue these two bodies together, have a solid body. Start actually working on some body work today. Can you believe it? Wow, getting quite a bit done. The sun's out, feels good out here. Got quite a mess I gotta clean up, but all right, we'll see in a little bit. All right, we are ready for the glue phase. So let me go ahead and seal these two pieces together, and it's gonna be cool. All right, we'll see when I get that done. All right, successful glue phase. We are one solid piece. Went very well. All right, just wanted to show you. Looks pretty good. All right, so now it's time for some, I'm gonna clean up all the non-essentials, clean up my mess, and then we can put some Bondo body filler on the sides and fill any gaps, any imperfections, and that'll be the next step. All right, and then fill any holes in. So, all right, we'll see in a little bit. All right, got my non-essentials cleaned up, and I'm happy to announce we are at the ugly phase part 1. All right, so let me go ahead. Got a fresh can of body filler. I like to use this right here. Good stuff. So let me go ahead and do all the good sides and everything like that, make everything beautiful and perfect, and we'll see in a little bit. All right, another quick update. The ugly phase part 1 is over. Yeah, completed, and it looks pretty good. Did all the Bondo touch-ups. Just wanted to show you. Yeah, it looks awesome. Yeah, body's actually ready for a string test, but this time around I'm gonna do the full fretwork first before I do the string test. That way I can get true readings on everything, and in case there's any high or low frets. But I just wanted to share how good everything turned out so far today. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Been at it about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so I've been at it for a while today, but we got so much done. It just looks amazing. All right. Whew. That is just so cool. I love this shape. This shape is definitely pretty stunning. All right, so we'll clean up all my mess and everything like that, and we'll go ahead and get all the fretwork done. Try to work on that today as well. Level, crown, and polish the frets. That way we can do a full-on string test and see how this guitar resonates. I'm guessing it's going to resonate pretty good because of the denseness of the wood. It's going to sound amazing. Not even plugged in, just acoustically. But all right, so we will see you when I get all the all cleaned up. I am like dirty. Start working on the fret, the neck, and that'll be the next step. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. All right, just another quick update inside, better lighting. Just wanted to show you how cool it looks. Yeah, very cool. All right, so I'm gonna go in the other room. I got all my fretwork stuff, and we'll start working on the frets. Can't wait to do a full-on string test. But I'll go ahead and post this on Facebook and my page and social media. And then I'll continue, and we'll see you probably this evening with the fretwork update, or tomorrow. But yeah, she's looking amazing. The doctor. Alright, we'll see you soon. Alright, it's till February 16, 2023, and it's time to do the fretwork on the Doctor No. 2 electric guitar. And I've got all my tools laid out, got my appropriate sandpaper. Alright, I've already made sure the neck was completely straight, and I'm going to go ahead and address the fret ends. I got my fret end file, and we're going to make the fret ends nice and perfect. As you can see, they're kind of jagged and a little bit sharp. We're going to take care of all that and round them, so I'll see you when we get that done. See you in a minute. Alright, another quick update. I was able to round beautifully and perfectly the fret ends. Oh yeah, they feel real nice. Wow. Okay, let me show you how they look, if it'll focus for me. Let's see, there we go. Minimalist tool marks as possible. And as you know, this whole neck is going to be painted white, so it's a maple neck, but it's a rosewood fretboard, but it's going to be completely painted. So just wanted to show you how the fret ends look. All right, next step is to make sure that the neck is straight, and then I'm going to go ahead and level, crown, and polish the frets. But first step is going to be to tape them up, so I'll see you when I get them taped up. All right, got all the frets taped up. Pretty good. I'm going to mark them with my Sharpie, and I've got a fresh 320 grit sandpaper on my leveling beam, and I'm going to put a level on these frets, trying to take as little material as possible off, and we'll see when I get that done. All right, all the frets have been leveled, and they are smooth, and I went through with my rocker arm and checked, double checked, made sure they were all flat to each other. Wasn't that bad. There was a few high frets here and there in certain spots, but in general it wasn't too bad. So you can see where the material was taken off. You know, when it's a little bit smaller of a, you can see, yeah. So they look pretty good. All right, so the next step is going to be to get my Stewart Mac Donald centered Z file, which I've got 2 of them, and put a crown on these guitar frets. So we'll do that, and we'll see you in a sec after I mark them again. All right, see you in a little bit. Alright, quick update. All the frets have a perfect crown. I just wanted to show you. And you always try to get the crown lines to be consistently the same throughout the entire neck. Alright, so the next step is going to be the fun part. Always go through the sandpapers. And as always, this time around, I went with 800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, all the way up to 10,000 grits. So we should have a real good round and shine. So just wanted to show you again how they look prior to the polishing and rounding. Yeah, all right, went pretty well. And we will see you in a couple hours. See you in a bit. Alrighty, quick update. All the frets have been leveled, crowned, and polished. As you can see, we've got a little bit of a mess, but wow, look at that. That is sweet. I love this step, but I don't love the process of getting this point. But I love the frets, how they look when you're complete. Wow. Yeah, they're brilliant. Alright, that's what we like to see. Alright, so let me get cleaned up. Let me take the tape off, get everything cleaned up, and then we'll go ahead and install the tuners. Because I want to do a full sound test tonight, so that would be pretty cool. Alright, so let me clean this up, and we'll be back in a bit. Alright, got everything cleaned up, including myself. Wow, I love that. They look amazing. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and install the tuning keys. And for this project, I chose these really good ones. These are really nice. I've used these before. So let's go ahead and install them, and I'll be right back. Alright, got the tuners installed. And it's looking awesome. And I'm really liking this nut that they have on this this neck. This is a really quality neck. I did notice it seems really high quality. So I might keep this nut or I might replace it. I don't know. We'll see how the string test goes. Alright, so let me get out the body and attach the neck to the body, and then we'll put some strings on it. We can get a sound test tonight. Yeah, we're doing good. It's only about 6 o'clock in the evening. So, alright, we'll see in a little bit. Alright, got the body back out. So let's join the neck to the body, and we got some strings. And we'll put some strings on here. We'll see when I get that done. Alright, got the neck reattached, and it's looking pretty cool. Pretty cool seeing what this string tree or the tuning pegs. Alright, so let me install the bridge, and I'll see you when we do that. I'll see you right back. Alright, got the bridge installed, and I gotta say, I really love this bridge. It's twice as much as the bridges that I usually use as far as cost, but I mean, it looks like it's such way better quality. I gotta start using these on a regular. So anyway, so let me put my 2 E strings on there and see how we did. Fingers crossed, measurements are perfect. Alright, we'll see in a little bit. Alright, got both E strings on, and it is perfectly straight, right down the middle. I love that. Couldn't get any straighter than that. And there's always room for if you ever had that problem, but yeah, perfectly straight. Okay, let me get the rest of the strings on there, and I'll be right back. Alright, all the strings are installed. I love guitar making. Alright, so let me get the everything up to pitch, and we'll do a full-on sound test. Actually, let me install the strap buttons really quick. While I got this here, I'm gonna install the strap buttons because see how it hangs. Alright, we'll see in a bit. Okay, as far as strap buttons, I'm gonna go with my usual Dunlop. I love these locking strap buttons. Those are really killer. So, I'm gonna install usual right in the center of the neck plate right there. And judging by the other guitar that I made, I'm guessing it's going to be right there, almost direct center in that point right there. So, alright, let's do that up, and I'll be back when I get them installed. Alright, successful installation of strap buttons, one there and one there. So let me get the strap, and let's put it on the guitar and see how we did. Alright, see you in a sec. Alright, it's me. How do you think we did? Got the hand. Bingo! Perfect strap button installation. Yeah. And I'll show it better when I turn the camera around when I get it up to pitch and full intonation. But yeah, it hangs really good. hangs right in there. Maybe it's better to, here, let's see if I can show you the mirror across the way. Yeah, there we go. And then I'll set up the tripod as usual. But yeah, and it feels light. It feels good. Doesn't feel as heavy as the first one, that's for sure. So that's cool. Alright, so let me get the strings up to pitch, and then I'll turn around and then we'll do a full sound demonstration. Hey, it's me. I've been one doing all the work here. Alright, we'll see you in a sec. Alright, I got the doctor here with my dad, and he's playing some good tunes on it. Because I bet people are really sick of me playing guitar because I play the same things. But it's cool. Pretty cool. What do you think? What's your overall consensus of this very odd shaped guitar? And it's just got the basic setup. I'm gonna dial it in. Sounds good, man. You're playing what you... It's cool to see it being played by somebody else, because when I play the same noodle stuff, so it's... And like I said, this is just the basic setup. I didn't go in depth with it, but... Does it feel like a Gibson Explorer, you think? Because of the neck?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know what a Gibson Explorer feels like.
Anyway. Well, thank you for just testing it out for me. But in general, what are your thoughts? Just the actions too?
I'd buy two.
Oh, you'd buy two? Alright, thanks. Alright, it's me again. Thank my dad. He's not too keen for being on camera and everything. But I do appreciate him playing it, because it kind of gives you a little variety, because I've been doing this for so long and I always noodle the same kind of music and everything like that, and he's from an older generation, so, and he's a really good guitar player himself, so yeah, so I think overall, and he said that the balance is right, and he said I got it right. He said he likes the way the bridge and the neck combine and they come together. So alright, so see if I could just play you some chords. I couldn't intonate it because my tuner, this tuner right here, won't pick up some of the higher strings, so I can't fully intonate. It will on certain strings, but I think it's really kind of close, because that sounds in tune. And I really like the nut on this guitar. I might not change this nut, because it's actually cut perfectly too. And see, I did the fretwork, so it's awesome. Got all the lights. You can see where it hangs. Good to go. And I love that I did the weight relief, because it's so... he said it wasn't heavy. And he's played, you know, he's seen the other one. He held it. He never played that one, but he held it, and he thought it was pretty heavy. So. My hands are really dry, and I don't want to put any kind of lubricant on them, because I'm going to be painting this entire neck. I'm going to definitely do some alcohol cleaning before the paint goes on, but I don't want to risk having any residue where the paint won't stick. So pardon me if my fingers are a little... Anyway, I'm gonna let this set overnight, and we're gonna see how anything shifts or anything like that, and then we'll set it up again. And when I'm happy with the way it turns out, then we'll go ahead and start the ugly phase part 2 and start working on the finish. Can't wait. Yeah. But in general, it's turning out really, really well. I'm really happy with the woods. I'm happy with the neck. I'm happy with everything. So it's really cool. All right, thanks everybody for watching today. I've been at it all day. It's after 7 now, and I think I started at 7:30 this morning, so not too bad progress for 12 hours worth of work, because it was just a blank, 2 pieces to cut out, and now we've got the completed guitar, more or less, except for the finish, of course. All right, and we will see you tomorrow. We'll continue working, and we'll see you then. This is Brian Pan, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Alright, just a conclusion of today's progress, and it is looking pretty killer. Alright, like I said, we'll let this set overnight, and then we'll keep tweaking it, making sure that I don't think the neck's going to shift at all, because wow, the neck pocket turned out really good. It's almost like a Jackson profile neck pocket. That is just awesome. And I love that bridge. I love the parts. Just love everything about this guitar. I'm getting so emotionally attached to it. No, I'm kidding. But, all right. And we will see you tomorrow. Like I said earlier. I just had to show you one more time. All right. Cool. The Doctor number 2. All right. Good morning, everybody. All right, it's time to work again on the Doctor number 2 guitar. It is January 17th, 2023, and it settled overnight, and I did all the full intonation. It's a lot quieter here, so yeah, it's fully intonated now, and we look good. We've got plenty of room for adjustment, so we are good to go. So next day, it's let me dismantle everything and start putting the body filler on the body and start entering the ugly phase part 2. What I hope to get accomplished today is have this completely coated. That's a rainy day outside, so we're not going to be able to sand it later or anything like that. So, and then install the truss rod today, which I'm going to have to install like a little wooden piece in there, so it'll have anchor. I'm going to use a Gibson style on his original guitar. He had a Gibson style bell type with the 2 screws, and the one in the front, one in the back. So we're going to get that going, and ugly face. So, alright, let me see when I get all this disassembled. Alright, we'll see in a little bit. Alright, got the guitar disassembled again. And it's time for the ugly face part 2. And let me get out my favorite brushes for this step. Alright, so we are good to go. So let me mix up a fresh batch of the wood grain filler. As always, I love to use this. And we'll start layering some layers on the sides and on the back, and we'll see you when I get a few things done. See you. Alright, the ugly face part 2 has begun. I got the first layer of wood green filler, and it looks as it should. Alright, I'll probably put 4 or 5 more layers on there, so we'll see you as the progress develops. Alright, quick update. Put the successfully glued in a piece of wood there, and that's awesome. So that way we're going to use this truss rod here, truss rod cover. It's the standard style, the bell style. So we'll go ahead and get that installed on the neck. And then we might be able to tape up this neck and put some primer coats on it today. Even though it's a little damp outside, we can go in the garage. And seeing how we're going to have to, doing primer, we're going to sand the primer and all that. This would be a good opportunity to start the process of turning this guitar neck into the full white. So, all right, we'll see you in a bit. Let me get the truss rod cover installed. Alright, successful installation. Truss rod cover looks good. Alright, now we can tape up this neck and put it on a hanger and put some primer coats on here. Alright, we'll see you in a bit. Alright, it is time. It's time to put some primer coats on the neck for the Doctor number 2 guitar. I'm excited for this. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on the hanger like I always do, and then we're going to tape off the frets. And then we're going to go with some U-Pull sandable primer, some white. Yeah, put a coat or two on there and see how it looks. And then once it's fully painted white with the the acrylic white, I've got some black fret marker material that we're going to install. I'll have to show you that. I think I've showed that in a video before. It's actually, you put a small drill in, you insert it with some super glue and then trim it off. But yeah, it's going to be really cool. All right, we'll see you inside. All right, got all the frets carefully and awesomely taped off, and I taped off the nut as well. All right, I got the neck on a hanger, as you can see. So let me go ahead and get some primer coats and spray a couple coats of primer. Oh, good. Wish me luck. Fingers crossed it goes well. See you in a little bit. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. It is the 17th of February, 2023. It's time to continue work on the Doctor number 2 guitar. And we are full on into the ugly phase. Wood grain filler has been applied. It's looking like it should. I just wanted to show you getting ready to sand and turn this body into something beautiful. Just wanted to show you how it looks prior to the sanding process. Got several layers, but I got my 320 grit sandpaper, got all my good stuff. I'll have to show you the neck. The neck turned out really good. That U-Pull sandable primer is the stuff, so I'll show you that in a second. Let me get some sanding done here. And we got a fresh can. This is the stuff I used on the neck. Oh wow, good stuff, good stuff. So, all right, yeah, AutoZone, $9, good stuff, really good stuff. All right, let me get some sanding done. It's chilly outside. It feels good. It's cloudy, overcast day. Perfect for this type of work. All right, we'll see when I get some sanding done. All right, the ugly phase part 2 has passed. And we are ready for some primer coats. I just wanted to show you how good it turned out prior to the primer coats. Now, I love that part. Transformation. It's so cool. It took a while, but we are good to go. Now, alright, so next step is to put it on a hanger and then put some primer on there. Yeah, it's just so cool. On the hanger, and we'll be right back. Alright, we are on the hanger. We are blown off a couple times, sanded smooth, checked for any imperfections, and we are ready for some primer. Alright, fingers crossed, we're gonna lose. The sun's getting ready to set, so we gotta hurry up and knock this out. Got plenty of time though. Alright, we'll see you in a second. Alright, primer coats have been completed and it looks amazing. And we are definitely losing sunlight, so hopefully this will be bright enough. I'm gonna let it set out here for a little while and then we'll take it inside. Cure a little bit. But yeah, it turned out amazing. I'm gonna have to sand a couple sections here and there, but it's sandable primer. Excuse me, primer. And it's windy, but it doesn't matter what the primer coats. So, all right. Unless I do another, the primer's still wet, as you can see. When it dries, it will definitely shrink more. But yeah, it's looking pretty killer. I'll have to show you the neck in a little bit once I get this inside and safe. But alright. It looks pretty cool. Can't wait to get some gloss white and then some primer and then some 2K clear coat over that. So we still got probably about 2-3 weeks more in paint. So, well, maybe not that long, but alright, we'll see you soon. I just want to show you a better light on the front, on the outside real quick. Alright, one more update picture, or video, I'm sorry. The Doctor number 2 guitar. There's the first one. And there's the second. Oh, very successful primer coat application. Let's see. Can't really see around the back. And this is going to be sanded in a day or so and made perfectly flat. This primer is amazing. Oh yeah, here's the neck. Wow, that turned out super cool. I love that primer. That is just amazing. I just can't believe how good that primer. Wish I would have known about this primer a long time ago. Just look at the flawlessness of the execution. I even like this better than the 2K or the 2X. And see, I already sanded the fretboard a little bit because, you know, the rosewood's got a little sand or little, you know, little nibs of wood here and there. But I sanded it, and I'm going to make sure that I cover all the dots really good. So I'll probably put another round of primer on this after I sand it, just to put a couple more layers on there. But in general, it turned out really well. And the frets are taped off. You can see if I get close enough. And see, I'll sand this even smoother. See all the little imperfections, I'll sand it perfect. But yeah, primer is awesome. But this will conclude today's progress on the Doctor number 2 guitar for a day or two. And we'll see if that's cured enough to lay some gloss black on the, well, first I'm going to sand that. And that's the Ninja Warrior number 5 guitar. But yeah, looks pretty cool. We'll be making some excellent progress these last couple days. Almost makes it look like I almost make it look easy, don't I? Making guitars. But there's a lot to it though. So, alright, I hope everybody's having, we're going to have a good weekend. And that was so killer. Alright, we'll see you soon. Good morning, everybody. It is February 19th, 2023, and it's time to continue work on the Ninja Warrior number 5 electric guitar. Last night, I put a good sand on the primer, and I got it looking smooth and beautiful. Oh yeah. Alright, plan for today is to tape off the silver paint on the borders. And then we're going to go with some gloss black on the body today. So that's going to be pretty awesome. So let me go ahead and get that situated and then start taping off the inner silver. Alright, we'll see in a little bit. Alright, got silver paint taped off. Looks pretty good. Alright, we're going to go with the U-Pool. We're going to try this. The Expert Acrylic Enamel. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put a good coat on there on the complete body. And we'll see how it turns out. Alright, I'm going to go outside and do this, and then I'll see you when everything's said and done. I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, first base coats of black have been applied to the Ninja Warrior number 5 guitar on the body and the neck. And I've got, okay, pretty good results. First time using that paint, and the neck actually turned out really well, I think. I just got finished spraying the neck, so let me be as careful as possible. And I see a little bug flying around. That's not good. But yeah, base coats of black. And I may, depending on how it dries, I may sand this and go for another round of black. But if this neck is good to go, then I'll just go right for the, doing the fretboard, putting my logo on the fretboard, and then go to 2K clear coat. So the neck turned out fairly well. So as you can see, and this is actually a semi-gloss paint, so the 2K clear coat will make it just brilliantly shiny. Yeah, so there's that. And let me concentrate on putting it very carefully in the rack. Alright, perfect. Oop. Don't want it to hit anything else in its vicinity. And the body, not as good, I don't think. The wood did kind of absorb a little bit of the paint. I know it's kind of hard to see, and there were like a lot of little, I wouldn't call them hairs or anything, just, I don't know, I blew it off really good, but it still got a little bit of, the 2K clear coat would hide all that, but I don't know if you can see up close, it's got like some wood lines that are somewhat visible. We'll see how this dries, but I'll probably definitely go with another round of the black. And it's just an experiment with this paint. As you can see, there's a little imperfections, but those can be all sanded out. And if, I think I put a thick enough coat, but I think I'll elect to go with another, maybe not use that same paint, but go with a Rust-Oleum or a Krylon gloss black on the body. But the neck looked like it turned out okay. So, yeah. Spent a lot of time sanding on it, and that's going to need some more base coat of black, the border there. But other than that, all right, this will conclude. As you can see, all those little imperfections can definitely be sanded out, and then nothing like bad or anything, but just have to go another round of base coats. So I'll let these two set for about 4 days, and then I'll sand them, and then I'll let that set, and then I'll go ahead and go another round of base coats on the body, but maybe not the neck. So we'll see how it goes. All right, and we will see you next time on this build. Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday, the 19th of February, 2023, and it's time to continue work on the Dr. number 2 electric guitar. As you know, I did the primer coats about a day and a half ago, and I think we're ready for some sanding, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to take them both outside and sand it, and I might go with some more primer coats on the neck, but I could probably be safe to go with some base coats of white. First round, I've got 2 cans for this project, so that should be plenty, and hopefully being really good quality of wood and all the preparation, we might have a successful base coat. I'm going to try to put as much, pretty good thick layer, so try to make the finish as good as possible. So let me get all that prepped, and I'll see you on the other side of that. All right, see you in a bit. All right, quick update on the neck. Successful application of the base coats of white, and it looks awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The only thing is right near the end, there's a fly or some sort of bug. You could barely see it. Landed right near the tip there. You can't really see it. I think this will flatten out, and I can always, when this cures, I'm going to sand it flat anyway. But yeah, I took all the tape off the frets, and it looks pretty good. And you got to consider there's going to be a 2K clear coat that's going to cover all this, so that's going to make it really glossy and uniform. But yeah, that was the only thing right at the end, so it looks pretty good. I'm glad. And then I'll let this cure for about 3 days, and then I'll start applying the Dr. graphic to it, and that'll be cool. And then after that's complete, we'll be ready for some 2K clear coat. But yeah, now I'm going to sand the body and try to put some base coats of white. Hopefully no bugs will get in my way, but if they do, I can always sand it. And the good thing about the process of paint is if this were to be like a dramatic problem or something catastrophic, like, start peeling it up, you could always fix it. It's just add some time, but this went pretty flawless. Yeah, that minor little thing right there compared to what could have happened is some, minimal. So, all right, and we'll see in a little bit. Me work on the body. All right, the primer coats have been sanded, and it is looking smooth and nice. Awesome. All right, now it's time for some base coats of white. Fingers crossed, no bugs. I'm just gonna take my time. If a bug gets in it, you could always get it out and sand it out later. So let's just take it slow and smooth, and put some base coats. And of course, we're gonna put 2 cans of 2K clear coat on the body, so it's gonna be awesome. So, all right, well, fingers crossed. We'll see you in a little bit. All right, another quick update. Successful application of base coats of white. Wow. There's a couple spots I need to touch out, but that's always to be expected. But yeah, it's looking awesome. And this is semi-gloss, that paint. So, but I'm gonna put, like I say again and again, I'm gonna use the 2K clear coat. so it's going to be really glossy after I do the graphic paint. But yeah, turned out really well. Like I said, there was a spot or two I got to touch up. And I got to make sure that the paint covered. And there's going to be a spot or two like in the back, it's still wet, where I still have to sand. Yeah, like this spot right there. I'm going to have to sand that flat, but that'll be cool. And there's a spot that I made right there. Trying to get a bug. There's a bug. But I'll sand it flat and touch it up so it'll be invisible in a little spot there. Where's it at? Right. Okay, it won't focus. Yeah, right there. Those are only 3 spots in the whole entire spray, which is rare because, you know, you always expect to get something. And I'm going to have to get, touch up in the little crevices, make sure that it got coated because it's kind of hard to spray. Woo! Tell you, that's a little stressful. You're stressed because you're, and thank God no bugs landed up front, but it's all fixable. So, but yeah. Alright, hope everybody's having a good weekend. Sunday. Whew, we'll let these cure for about 2-3 days, and then have to do any sanding on the paint, maybe touch up here and there, and then we can start on the graphic. I'm going to start on the doctor graphic on both the neck and the I'm thinking I might do the headstock black first before I do the doctor on the headstock, because that way when that's curing, then I can wait for that to cure and then do the logo, and in the back I got something special planned. But yeah, turned out pretty cool. White base coats definitely is white now, so that's good, not just primer white. So alright, and we will see you shortly to continue on this one. See you in a little bit. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everybody. It is February 23rd, 2023. A little confused there. And as you can see, it's time to continue work on the Doctor number 2 electric guitar build. I went through and you got any of the paints off the frets or any overspray, and the neck is looking good. And that spot where the bug was at, I sanded flat and perfect. No need to touch it up, because when the clear coat goes over it, it's going to look completely flawless. But it is time to tape up the neck and put some black on the front of the headstock. And I'm going to use that. Let me go ahead and tape up the neck, and then I'll see you in a second. Alright, got the neck taped up appropriately. And I got it all nice and good. Alright, I'm going to put some in the holes there to make sure that nothing gets in the truss or anything. Alright, let me apply some black gloss paint to the front of the headstock, and fingers crossed, see you in a bit. Alright, quick update. Successful application of the black face paint on the Doctor number 2 guitar neck, and it looks pretty awesome. And of course I'll touch up all the, you know, if there's any line, I'll make the lines exactly perfect between the white and the black, but it turned out really good. Alright, we're gonna let this dry, but it's really coming together. I love when the black and the white go on, and yeah, this is really awesome. Alright, so we're actually going to work on the graphic today. Can you believe it? It is time. We're going to try to put some layers of paint to have that graphic of the Doctor on the body. We are good to go. I went and sanded any of the spots that needed sanding, and this base coat of white is plenty thick enough, so it's good to go. And that's another thing to remember. The coat of paint that's on here is just a base coat. It's not the actual clear coat. The clear coat is what's going to make it super glossy and really perfect finished looking. So yeah, the white, that's really good paint. I really like that paint because it's really solid, and when I was sanding it really held up good. And you use 320 grit sandpaper, and you just sand in the anomalies, and it's perfect. Like even on the back of the headstock, remember that bug flew in? I sanded the anomaly, and when you sand it's flat, but when you put the clear coat on over it, it looks just perfect. So alright, so let me get the body situation going on, get the template out, and start working on that. We'll see you in a little bit. Alright, it is time. It is time to apply the graphic of the graphic on the Doctor guitar body. So, alright, so the way I figure it, the strategy, the plan, is to do this in sections, okay? And probably set it up in quadrants, probably four distinct quadrants. So I'll cut this in 4 different pieces. That way we can make sure that it's going on correctly. And what I'll do is I get a fresh blade on my X-Acto. This is an old blade. Fresh blade on my X-Acto knife and cut out every so often, leaving a tether, because this is going to be a template. And this time around I might go with a fine tip marker if I can find it. I know I've got a fine tip marker somewhere that came with my Cricut machine. It's got like a really fine tip. I don't want to have to worry about drippage because those paint pens drip. So, and with the fine tip marker, I'll show you. I'll go ahead and trace very carefully actually on the body itself. Or I might do it in pencil. I'm not sure. Pencil would be okay, would be better, and I can see pencil fine, because when I go to hand paint the individual graphic, I'm going to do it very slow and very, methodic. So, yeah, alright, so let me get sections ready and we'll be right back. Alright, we successfully, I've decided to go in 2 or 3 sections, probably just 2 sections, because the front didn't have a whole lot and the back is a little bit more busier. But okay, so this is the front section, and as you can see, I cut out and left little spacers, and then I'll just connect that. So I'm going to get some really sharp pencil. Let me get the body back out here, and then we're going to start drawing over to the body with pencil lines onto the body itself, and then we'll go ahead and paint those in. I figure we paint the front, see how that goes, and then paint the back. So we'll do it in section also. So, alright, excuse me. Alright, we'll see you in a second. I got the first pattern, the first half attached to the body, and I'll go ahead and accordingly trace the pencil. I've got 3 sharp pencils, and we'll make some lines, and we'll see in just a little bit. I got the shape, the first side traced out on the body. I got my 3 appropriate brushes. I got a fresh batch of black paint. Alright, so now it's time to go ahead and carefully apply it. I can always touch up the white when I need to, but alright, and we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, quick update. The first half has been completed, first section. Whew. I try to make the lines as straight and as perfect as possible, but it's kind of intense. You're like laser focused. Whew. That's why I'm glad I'm doing it in sections. Okay, so I'll continue on in about an hour or so. Take about an hour break. That way I can reset. But it looks pretty awesome. All right, I'm gonna go put this on the hanger. Excuse me, clean up my mess, and then in about an hour or so we'll get to it again. We'll see a little bit. All right, got the next section ready. All the bits cut out. All right, so I'm gonna get some pencil and trace it over, and we'll see in a little bit. Alright, another section completed. And we're getting there. Working the graphic. It's about noon now. We started at about 6, so we're getting there. Alright, I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, time to work on the next section. See you in a little bit. Getting there. Alright, just finished the graphic on the Doctor number 2 electric guitar. Whew. I tell you, that was intense. Alright, let me go clean up my mess, hang this on the hanger, and then I'll of course do some touch-ups and make sure all the whites. I think I got a touch-up. I think I went a little sharpen up that edge on that little bit right there with some white. And then touch up here and there. But yeah, it looks pretty killer. The Doctor. Number 2. Can't wait to get some clear coat on this one. Alright, let me go hang it up and we'll see in a little while. Alright, graphic completed. Like I said earlier, I'll do some touch-ups after I let it dry thoroughly, but yeah, I got a lot done today from the headstock black. It's midday, so we've been at it for quite a while, but yeah, Doctor 1, Doctor number 2. So that's cool. That just turned out really cool. I can almost hear some jungle beats beating in the background. Very cool. Alright, I'm tired. Alright, we'll continue work on this one. Next step's going to be to put the doctor on the front of that guitar neck. So that's going to be fun. And then headstock logo. And then special thing in the back there of the headstock. And then we'll be ready for some 2K clear coat. So we're moving right along. So pretty awesome. Alright, we'll see you soon. The doctor. Hey everyone, it's February 24th, 2023. Time to continue work on the Doctor number 2 electric guitar. And as you can see, we're doing the inlay. And these are the bags of... It's kind of a funny thing. The bag, I save all the leftovers of the drawings, the templates that I make. Here's a funny one. There's the Ghostbuster template. So I've got all the templates in case I ever want to recreate the guitars again. And when I did the first Doctor guitar, I did the, this is how I did the lettering. If you go back and watch that video on YouTube. And I was able to find the correct, this is the correct shape. And this is the one I'm going to use. So I'm going to reuse this one instead of generating this again. Funny, these are the bags. I mean, these are all the guitars that I've made over the last year, about 2 years or so. And here's the leftovers from the Doctor, the first Doctor guitar. It's pretty interesting how I did it. It's kind of funny. Try to do this one hand. You can make out different pieces. This is the little red bit. But yeah, this is the original template that I saved. So, very interesting. And these are the cutouts from when I cut it out, and I did the leftovers of everything from the first body, the graphic on the first guitar. So, but anyway, I'll have to go through all these one day and post a video. I mean, here's some of the newer ones. But yeah, it's pretty interesting what we got here real quick. Kind of a side note. Oh, that's the Bart Simpson guitar. There's the leftover template. The original drawing that I did. There you go. Anyway, so pretty funny. I'll have to go through all of them someday. But for now. Alright, so let me get this straightened out, and this is what we're gonna put on the fretboard. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, I'm gonna got lined up where it needs to be. I'm gonna very carefully mark with pencil on the frets. Alright, successful tracing of the Doctor. Let's see if I can get it. It's kind of faint, but it's well dark enough for me to see. Alright, so let me get some paint. And we can start applying the graphic to the fretboard. We'll see in a little bit. Alright, quick update. We've got let's see a little bit. Alright, we've got the Doctor successful application of the inlay paint. Alright, so now let me do the red blob parts, I guess. So yeah, looking pretty cool. That's Doctor. Pretty cool. It makes the fretboard come alive, doesn't it? Alright, let's see in a little bit. Alright, successful addition of the red parts, and we are complete. That was kind of intense because trying to make it as perfect as possible. But there you go. That looks amazing. Alright, well, we'll let this let the paint cure, dry completely for about a day or two, and then I've got to put my logo on the headstock, and then on the back I'm going to put something really special on the back there as a tribute to Rick Nielsen. And then we'll go with some 2K clear coat. And then I'll do before the 2K clear coat, I'll do all touch-ups of all paint. So I'll go through really carefully and look at everything, make sure there's no paint. Because there's a couple touch-ups even on the fretboard that I've seen that just a little bit of white, like, just where the black kind of, just a little bit here and there. So, yeah, just touch up on the paints everywhere, make it perfect. And then we're ready for some 2K clear coat. So, and then after that, it's gonna have to cure for probably about a week or two after I do the 2K, because I want to make sure it's completely nice and firm and hard. So, all right, this will probably conclude. Well, let me go in the other room and compare it with the other one. We'll see you in a sec. All right, another quick update. The body and the neck together. All right, looking good. And the doctor number 2 is really taking shape. To the doctor number 1, I'm just a little bit nervous. I don't want to bump anything at all. But there we go. Pretty killer. Yeah, get a little closer. The doctors are in the house. So there we go. Whew. Yeah. All right. This concludes today's progress on the Doctor number 2 guitar. And like I said, we'll let it cure for a day or two, and then I'll go through and get all the touch-ups done. Yeah. All right. So we'll see you in a little bit. Hope everybody's having a good weekend, and we will see you next time. We'll see you soon. All right. All right. One more last update. I bet a couple of you are going, what about the little red blob bit on the R? Yeah, I even looked at the original too, and I spaced it. I thought the R didn't have a red little blob, but it does. So I even checked with the original guitar picture, so there you go. All right, let's do this again. Yeah, that was definitely interesting. All right, and this will be the final update. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely needs the red blob bit on the R. Alright. I'll see you later. Good morning, everybody. It's February 26, 2023, and it's time to continue work on the Doctor number 2 electric guitar build. And I'm going to do something special on the back of the headstock, like on the first guitar. We're going to put a Rick Nielsen tribute guitar in print, and then a picture on the back of the headstock. It's going to be really cool. And then I've got the Cricut machine out, as you can see, and we're going to do the white logo and made in the USA. So we'll get that going. All right, so let me figure everything out, and we'll see you next time. All right, quick update. Successful application of my tribute to Rick Nielsen on the back of the headstock of the guitar. See, turned out pretty cool. And then, of course, I'll cover this entire neck with 2K clear coat, so it will be a clear gloss, high gloss clear over that. So, alright, so that turned out pretty cool. Awesome. Alright, so the next step's going to be to create the logo and the Made in the USA on the front of the guitar neck. Yeah, that turned out really cool. It took a little bit of doing, but 2023. Alright, and we'll see when I get some progress on the other stuff. We'll see you in a little bit. Another quick update. I went ahead and installed the fret markers before, and then next up is going to be to do the logo on the front. Yeah, fret markers. That's definitely key. And I chose a little bit bigger ones, that way it's very visible, but with the white offset, it's pretty good. Alright, we're going to work on the logo on the front, and we'll be right back. Alright, successful application of the logo, and I just put the truss rod up there just for the spatial. Yeah, that looks pretty awesome. Alright, next step will just be to do some minor paint touch-ups, and then we're ready for some 2K clear coat. So I'll do the minor touch-ups on the neck and the body, make sure everything is dialed in perfectly, but yeah, it looks pretty awesome. And then that. Show you how it looks. Pretty sweet. Alright. Whew, that's intense because you know, you really gotta focus, you really gotta concentrate because you need a little bump or anything like that, or yeah, looks pretty good. Alright, so let me go clean up my mess and then unplug a little bit and kind of decompress a little bit. Yeah, that can be very stressful because, you know, you don't want it, you want it to be perfect as possible. So alright, and we'll see in a little bit. The Dr. Neck is complete except for the minor paint touch-ups, and we'll see in a little bit. See you in a bit. Alright, one more final update. Looks pretty sweet. Alright, this concludes progress today. I'll do the touch-ups of all the, you know, minor touch-ups of the paint here and there. And like I said, we're ready for 2K clear coat. Moving right along. And then the next step after that completely cures, is assembly. We're getting pretty close. Alright, we'll see you in a little bit. Good morning, everybody. It is March 1st, 2023. Wow, 2 months of this year are already gone. Wow, I don't know where the time goes. Alright, so as you can see, it's time to continue work on the Dr. number 2 electric guitar. And what we're doing today is cleaning off any paint that might be still on the frets, which I did. It looks pretty awesome. Getting everything perfect and dialed in. And then we're ready for some 2K clear coat. And I'm going to go with the first can of Spray Max 2K Clear Glamour. Good stuff. Very dangerous. Make sure you're protected. But this hardens to a very high gloss. So I'm going to go ahead and tape off the frets and then make sure there's no dust, debris, hair, lint, as little as possible. There might be one in there somewhere. You just never know, but try to get them all perfectly out. And then we'll get ready to spray the permanent clear on here. So, alright, so let me get them taped off and I'll see you in a bit. Alright, have everything taped off. It needs to be taped off. And I did a couple touch-ups on the paint, just a real minor. Want to make it perfect. So, alright, so let this set for a little while, let that paint cure for a little while, and we'll go some 2K clear coat. We'll see in a little bit. Alright, another quick update. Successful application of the clear coat on the neck. I want to try to be careful. It's been about an hour curing, and after about 3-4 days, I'll, you know, take an X-Acto blade and carefully around the edges of the paint on the frets and then peel them off. I elected to do them later after the paint is dried. That way the fretboard itself can stay pristine as it is. Try to get some light reflections, but wow, it turned out really good. That is just amazing. I'm trying to be very, very careful. Trying to stir up anything in the air either. But yeah, that turned out really well. I'll see if I can get some reflections. There we go. Oh yeah, that is just beautiful. Perfect. No bugs, no hair, no lint. It went about as good as it could go. But knock on wood, I shouldn't say that because I don't want to jinx myself. But yeah, that turned out really good. Wow. That is so awesome. Yeah, this is where it all comes together, and whew, it was definitely a stressful road to painting. Is always stressful for me because you never know what could happen. I mean, last minute, like we've seen before in past builds, bugs. And I did take the tape off the nut because I just wanted to make sure that it was a straight line. Alright, this will conclude progress today on the Dr. number 2 electric guitar build. Yeah, Dr. number 1 in the background, but this is definitely more accurate to Rick Nielsen's original guitar with the headstock shape and everything like that. So yeah, it turned out really wicked. Look at that, beautiful. Love it. The Doctor. Yeah, and I did enough coats on the the neck, so all the additions will be smooth as far as the paint and the vinyl. So, all right, let me hang this up. I don't want to jinx myself too much. So we'll see you in a little while. Tonight we're gonna do all the final touch-ups on the body, and then we'll do some 2K clear coat, weather permitting, tomorrow. I wanted to do them separate because I wanted to concentrate and not be too overwhelmed. So, all right, hope everybody's having a good middle of the week, and we will see you shortly. The doctor. Yeah, all right, see you in a bit. Good morning, everybody. It is March 2nd, 2023, and I'm happy to report that the Doctor number 2 guitar, I applied 2 cans of 2K clear coat this morning, and it looks phenomenal. It was about an hour ago when I completed, so it's still kind of curing. I just wanted to show you some reflections. Maybe I can get some good reflections. Yeah, there's just that one light in here, but yeah, really careful. Let me set the phone down and I'll show you the back, but yeah, it's kind of one-handed, but yeah, it turned out really well. It started to pick up a little bit of wind, and this step is always stressful for me because I always try to have the most perfect finish as possible, especially on this guitar because this guitar is really special. So let me flip the body around and I'll be back. Alright, and there we go. Wow, that looks amazing. That looks really good. That's awesome. Whew. Alright, let me turn the camera back around. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Fabrication is complete. So we are completely done with building the guitar. Now we're going to let this set for about a week to 10 days to make sure that the paint is fairly cured. The 2K clear coat hardens in 4 days, but I want to make sure that this guitar is especially cured before assembly. So we'll probably let it go about 7 days to 10 days. Yeah, it takes like, 2 weeks to make the guitar, and it takes about a month for it to paint. So, but that's a good thing. Figuring out the paint situation, yeah, look at that. Wow, that looks so cool. You get a little different perspective with the reflections. Yeah. All right, hope everybody's having... Yeah, it's near the weekend, isn't it? It's Thursday, so hope everybody's having a good day. And we will see you soon to continue on this one. And we'll continue on the other builds. But yeah, that turned out really awesome. Alright, we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, just another quick update today. Successfully removed all the tape off the frets. And it's looking good. Alright, we'll see you in a little while. Good afternoon, everyone. It is March 6th, 2023, and as you can see, it is time to assemble the Doctor number 2 electric guitar. Oh yeah, got all my parts, got everything I need for installing and making this guitar awesome. I just wanted to show you, as always, how good the 2K clear coat turns out. Like I said earlier in an earlier video, I used 2 cans of 2K clear coat on this one, so I wanted to put a real good layer. Looks pretty awesome. Alright. As per usual, first step's going to be to install a ground wire and feed it through the pedometer cavity. So let me go ahead and do that. I'll see you when I get that done. Just wanted to show you again how good the finish turned out. Awesome. So, it's pretty good. So you get some reflections. Be real gentle with it. Alright, let me install the ground wire and we'll see in a little bit. Alright, successful pull through of the ground wire and all the way to the pedometer cavity on the back. Next step's going to be to install the bridge. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and install the bridge. Fingers crossed this goes well. Alright, we'll see in a little bit. Alright, successful installation of the bridge. Went pretty smooth. I love it when it goes smooth. Smooth is good. Alright. Next step is going to be to get the pickup out and get that installed, and we'll see in a little bit. Alright, successful installation of the pickup, and as per usual I only installed one screw. That way when I have the strings back on, if I need to adjust it and make it perfectly centered, then I'll install the other screws. But I went ahead and fished the wires all the way through the pedometer cavity, and it looks pretty good. And I'm going to get my X-Acto blade and just score around a little bit of the outside, and then we'll get ready to do the input jack. And this is a stereo input jack because it's got the active pickup, so it's got the 3 leads, and the hot is on the bottom. The very top is the ground, and then the middle one is the return from the hot the 9-volt battery. So let me get that done and we'll see in a little bit. Alright, got the input jack wired up. I'll go ahead and install it, fish the wires through the pedometer cavity, and we'll see when we get that done. Alright, successful installation of the input jack. It went very well. I pre-drilled, of course. I didn't want to risk any kind of fracturing of any kind of wood at all, so it went perfectly, and it's lined up awesome. So alright, so next step is going to be to flip it over and get it ready for wiring. Let me get my pedometer and get that prepped, and we'll see you inside. Oh, we gotta install the we gotta turn it over. We gotta install the battery compartment first. Alright, we'll do that one second. Alright, successful installation and wire pull through. This wire's right here. The 9-volt battery compartment went pretty smooth. As you recall, I routed it up and into the main channel, so we're good to go. Now let's see if I can do this with one hand. Try to show you how you get the 9-volt battery right there. Yeah, remove it, boom, put it in, and then snap it down. So we're good to go. So we put the screws in, and then we'll get ready to wire. And then we're ready for a sound test after we get everything going. But let me not to get too far ahead of myself. Alright, let me put the screws in, we'll be right back. Alright, successful installation of 9-volt battery compartment, and it went very uneventful, which is always a good thing. Alright, so let me get my pedometer prepped, and we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, got my pedometer prepped. Let me show you what I mean. 500 watt 500 pot, I'm sorry, 500 ampere watt, I can't remember. Alright, got my pedometer prepped. I soldered, and I made sure I scratched the surface so it's making good contact, and then the far right post you bend up and then solder. I'm using a 500K pot, so we should be nice and bright and hot and sound awesome. Alright, so let me cover this up, and then we'll start the wiring. I can't believe we're ready to wire the Doctor No. 2 guitar. Awesome. Alright, let's get this wired, and I'll see you when I get that. Alright, got everything soldered perfectly. This is a pretty simple wiring, thank God. Alright, so let me pull the pedometer through and install it, and we'll see when I get that done. Alright, successful pull through the wires and installation of the pedometer. So now we're going to go ahead and install a battery. I'm going to do a full-on string test. So let me install a battery and flip it over, and we'll see you inside. Alright, it's that time. We're ready for a full-on string test. I got my hot lead. As per tradition, let's turn the volume all the way down and install the input jack. See if I can do this one-handed. I think I might have to put it down. Yeah, I'm going to put it down and install it right back. Alright, got it installed. Let me get something to tap it with. Got my trusty tweezers. Okay, so we shouldn't get any sound at all. And we don't. Perfect. Alright, fingers crossed. Moment of truth. See if we get some sound. Alright! Successful wiring. Awesome, that sounds... you can almost hear me talking through the pickup. I got the volume way up. Wow, it's pretty awesome. And let's try it again. Turn it down, all the way down. And nothing. Alright, successful wiring. Let me install the knob and I'll be right back. Alright, successful installation of the knob. Looks pretty good. And I have the 10 position facing like towards the player, so that way you know where you are as far as volume. Alright, so let's flip it over and install the the pedometer covered cavity plate, and I'll be right back. Alright, successful installation of the back cover plate. Looks pretty awesome. Don't mind all my fingerprints before I do the photo shoot. I'll clean up all my fingerprints because I got fingerprints everywhere, of course. But all right, so it's time to go hang this back up and then start working on the neck, installing the tuning keys. Duh, I'm having a blank there. All right, we'll see you in a bit. And then clean up all my non-essentials, by the way. Alright, just wanted to show you how good the neck turned out. 2K clear coat looks awesome. I checked all the front ends and they still feel really good. Alright, so let me take this off the hanger and then install the tuning keys and we'll be good to go. Alright, we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, successful installation of the tuning keys and it is looking amazing. That is so awesome. Alright, time to get the body out and join the neck to the body. As always, this is my most favorite and most stressful part of the whole process because you just hope it's going to go well. You know, on this neck in particular, you know, it's always a little scary because I did put paint on the neck and it was a tight joint to begin with, so just have to do it real careful, real easy. So we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. All right, we'll get the body out here and we'll get it off the hanger and we'll see it. All right, it is that time. As per tradition, I've got the body and the neck together next to each other for this first time since they've been painted, and they are looking amazing. Oh wow, that is so killer. I love it. Whew. This is definitely a cool shaped guitar. Oh, wow, look at that. And all the gloss and everything like that of the 2K clear coat. Wow. Alright, here we go. Whew, I'm a bit nervous. I gotta admit, I'm nervous. It's always a nervous thing when you connect the neck with the body for the first time because you just never know. I'm gonna do my best not to have any issues whatsoever, but because there was paint put on here, you know, if it widened it just a smidge, it could be really tight. I want to make sure I do that really well because in the future I don't want any issues or anything like that. So, alright, so connect the body to the neck and we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed on this one. We'll see in a little bit. Alright, we have successful joining of the neck to the body. Woo! Man, and the neck joint just, I knew that going in because I knew the neck joint was perfect to when we made the neck joint, we knew that it was dead on perfect, and it turned out just the neck joint is just perfect. Look at that. So yeah, whew, I tell you, that is stressful because just never know. I mean, any little thing, I mean, if there's too much stress on either end, it could, you know, a piece could flake off or the paint could act funny. I mean, it's just, whew, thank God that didn't happen this time. So you just never know. But wow, that is just so cool. The Doctor number 2 is born. Wow. And this one is pretty close to spot on Rick Nielsen's original guitar because headstock shape and, you know, with the weight relief, and took my time to get the paint just perfect. So yeah, it's just awesome. Alright, so the next step is going to be to install my 2 E strings and see all my measurements are dead on and perfect. Alright, and this time around we're going to go with 9x42. Some super slinky Ernie balls. These are really awesome strings. So I used to use these all the time, but in 10s of course, but we're going to go with 9s on this guitar. So alright, so let me put my 2 E strings on there. But yeah, just have to stand back and just wow. Let me show you the back, the neck joint, and how good it turned out. Wow. Yeah, you couldn't get me really better than that. Neck joint is just dead on perfect. Wow. Remember we had the neck tendon dialed in perfectly. But yeah, that is just amazing. I love building guitars. This is this is the reward. This is the gratification. This is all your hard work when it comes together like this. Still got to get the strings on there and get it to pitch, and hopefully all that goes well. But yeah, we're gonna, like I said, put the 2 E strings on there. But just want to take a break from the wow. And that neck pocket is just, man, that's just awesome. Yeah. So I guess practice makes perfect. You just get better and better at it. So yeah, the doctor. All right. So let me get some strings on there, and we will see in a little bit. All right, got the 2 E strings on, and my measurements are dead center. Perfect. Right dead center of the fretboard, so that's what you want. Exactly perfect. All right. So let me go ahead and install the other 4 screws and shift that so it's perfectly symmetrical. So, all right, we'll see in a little bit. All right, perfectly installed the screws for the pickup, and it looks pretty awesome. It looks dead center as far as the strings in the pickup, dead center, so it looks pretty awesome. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and install the strap buttons real quick since everything lined up perfectly. So let me install the strap buttons and I'll be right back. All right, successful installation of the strap buttons. Looking pretty cool. Good to see the back, how it looks in its glory. Oh yeah. Sweet. All right, let me get the rest of the strings on there. We'll see in a little while. All right, got all the strings installed, and it is looking amazing. Wow, that looks awesome. That is so killer. That just looks just, man. All right, so let me clean up my non-essentials and then get everything up to pitch, and then I'll do a full-on sound test. Got the EMT81 in there, so it should sound amazing. Wow. Wow, what a journey. What a fun build. Oh man. Doctor number 2 is assembly complete. So now we're gonna dial it in and get everything good to go. Wow. Stand back and kind of take it all in. That was just cool. And then once I make sure the neck is straight and adjust, get everything dialed in as far as saddles and intonation and everything, then I'll install a truss rod cover. So let me get everything to pitch, and we'll see in a little bit. Doctor number 2. Cool. All right, I'll see in a little bit. All right, I got it. Strings up to pitch, and I dialed it in. It sounds amazing. I'll show it to you in a little bit. All right, now it's time to install. Oh, I'm gonna check, make sure that everything is perfect, and then we'll install the truss rod cover, and I'll see you in a little bit. All right, install the truss rod cover, and it looks killer. Looks pretty sweet. Alright, and I did put a little bit of lubricant on the back, because with new paint you want to make sure that if you need to adjust it in the future, that the paint doesn't stick to the plastic. So I put a little of the feeding wax, just a little bit, on the back side. That way it doesn't stick. That way it's perfect, because sometimes if this doesn't get adjusted over a long period of time, the paint could actually stick to the plastic, and I've had that before, to where you take that off to go to adjust truss rod again, but I made sure that's good to go. So we got a little bit of wax under there, so we're good. So we're next. All we got left to do is a good old sound test. So let me let this sit for a while. Let me take a couple-minute break. But yeah, the doctor is fully assembled. Doctor number 2 it turned out really killer. And we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, we are ready for a sound test. Look at this. Look at this beautiful guitar. Wow. That is just killer. Yeah, and it's dialed, it was fairly close from I did the full-on sound, the string test earlier, before I started doing the paint process. Yeah. Brand new strings, of course, so they're going to stretch a little bit, but super fast, lightning fast neck. I've got it dialed in. The action is perfect, and that sounds amazing. Here, let me sit down. Whew. Let me adjust the camera, of course, so you see more of the guitar and less of me, as always. But yeah, I did a little bit of an angle there. Hold on. Bear with me. I've been at it for a while, and I'm always a little bit nervous when I first put them together because, it could be somewhat stressful, especially making sure everything works out perfectly, which it did, which I'm so glad. Access to the upper frets is wow. The doctor. The pickup is amazing. Of course, you know, I've always had a thing for EMG 81s, of course. I really haven't really tried the new trend with the with that one pickup. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but there's the newer trend with the pickups and everything like that. But I'm always a die-hard EMG 81 fan, of course. But let me get some clean tones, and I'll be right back. Let me do that, because that way I don't want to bump anything. So let me get clean tone, I'll be right back. Maybe not. Alright, here's one clean channel I have found. I've had this amp for a while, and I, rarely use the clean channel, so I had to kind of go and hunt for a clean channel. But this is a clean sound, and check it out. See how it sounds. It sounds pretty cool. Always dial down the tone. It really sounds good for a clean tone. I mean, it's TMG 81, but find a better clean channel, one that's a little bit less echo and stuff. I'll be right back. Let me find another channel. Alright, I think I got a little bit better of a clean channel. You would figure I'd know my amp, but I really don't. I've got to actually Digitech. Our strings are stretching a little bit, but I haven't sung that kind of high stuff for a while, but there you go. So you get a little bit of my squawking singing, but yeah, really cool. The Doctor #2 guitar, and like I said, I'll let this settle for a day or so, and then I'll tweak it some more. But before I'm actually content with the build being completely done, I want to make sure everything settles, make sure all the little, make sure that if any fret sprout happens, change humidity, I want to make sure I got everything like that dialed in. That way, make sure the guitar is perfect. But wow. Anyway, I wrote that quite a while ago. action completely dialed in, and the action is similar to like a really dialed in Stratocaster. Starting to feel a little bit more comfortable because when I first put one together, there's nerves because anything little thing can go wrong. So it's just you have to kind of unwind from that to be able to play. You know what I mean? Because you're feel your day and your night. Anyway. I just love playing this guitar, to be honest with you. It just feels so... It's like my children, when you first birth them, you just... But anyway, I'll get it completely dialed in, but yeah, this has been such a fantastic journey. I'm actually gonna be sad to see you go, but your children you put out there and you hope to have a good life. You try to bring them up right and you try to give them all the tools they need to succeed in life, which I have with my child here. It's just so amazing. Anyway, okay, I can play all night long. But alright, the Doctor #2 guitar. Alright. Turned out pretty cool. And I'll do another video and do full photo shoot, and once I let it settle for a day or two and actually unwind a little bit, I'll make another demonstration of me playing, preferably something planned. But alright, and we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, one last quick update for today. The Doctor guitars are in the house. Alright. Whew. That has been such a fun journey. Doctor 1 and the Doctor 2. Very cool. Maybe a Doctor 3 or Doctor 4? No, I'm just kidding. I want to recreate the Rockford double neck guitar. That'd be really cool. The Rick Nielsen Rockford double neck guitar. If you've ever seen that guitar before, that guitar's cool. So, alright. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, and this is definitely more accurate as far as the graphic, too. Placement. All that. And that one is really close, of course. But, you know, it's art. But I tried to get this one as close to Rick Nielsen's guitar as possible. So, alright. Hope everybody's having a good... What day is it today? I don't even know. I think it's Monday. That's right. Good start of the week. And we will see you soon to continue with this guitar. Alright, we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, how's everybody doing? It is March 8th, 2023. Wow, where has the time gone? And this is the on-the-fly voiceover for the Doctor number 2 electric guitar build. If you follow me on social media, you already know that this is the second time building this guitar. This time around, I wanted to make it as accurate to Rick Nielsen's guitar as possible. If you're not familiar with this guitar in general, this is a guitar called The Doctor. It's based on the album cover from the band Cheap Trick. Rick Nielsen had this guitar made, I think back in the late middle 70s when that album came out. I'm not really sure the dates, but this guitar is my second attempt, like I said, of that guitar. If you research on Google Rick Nielsen's The Doctor guitar, then you'll see the original. It's a very cool guitar, very unusual shape. The way I understand it is the Doctor is actually an Indian figure, a mythical figure, and I think that's where he got that original shape from the album cover. But yeah, this guitar was really cool to make. I definitely did some very interesting, unique things with this guitar. I experimented with weight relief. I've done weight relief before in the past, with the Lisa Simpson guitar. So that turned out pretty cool. And seems how the original guitar, the Doctor number 1 guitar that I built, was so heavy, it was upwards of almost 14 pounds. This time around, I wanted to make this guitar definitely more user-friendly and lighter. If you were to play it on stage or whatever or whatnot, that it wouldn't be such a chore on your neck and on your back. But yeah, it was a ton of fun to make. I definitely used better bridge, better components. The neck itself is very cool. The shape of the headstock is accurate to Rick Nielsen's. The only difference between Rick Nielsen's and this guitar, of course, Hammer made the original guitar, but you notice on the headstock, if you see the headstock again, they had the black a little different shape on the headstock. The black paint wasn't the full headstock. There was kind of a line from the truss rod cover to like the tip of the headstock that was, you know, if you look at the original, you see what I'm talking about. But yeah, this it's pretty cool, this guitar, and it's different from the first one I made by the tribute to Rick Nielsen. On the back of the headstock, it's a little bit different. I wanted to experiment a little bit with that, and when I get to that, I'll show you and actually put on there that it was created by me in 2023, so I wanted to give it a little bit of a date, and you'll see to hear that in a second. But yeah, it was a really, really good time. Yeah, right here. A Rick Nielsen tribute guitar created by Brian Ragland, 2023. So I wanted to put, like I said, I wanted to put a little bit of a date on there. And here, coming up in a second or so, you're going to see the video of both the guitars side by side. But yeah, this is really cool. And the fret markers I made, I wanted to make an extra, you know, a little bit larger than before, to be able to see on stage and, you know, in the dark or whatever, whatnot, or a little dimly lit stage. Okay, well, here's both guitars together, the Doctor number 1 and the Doctor number 2, which it's just kind of really, really kind of cool that my children, and you'll see it's a different style neck as well. The first Doctor is a Strat style neck. It has a Strat style nut, and you'll see that there's not really much of a back bow on the headstock itself because it's a straight line, so a string tree was required for the E and the B string, to where On the Doctor Number Two guitar, it's more of a traditional Gibson Explorer type headstock. So it's pitched back, so there's no need for the string tree at all. So because the break angle. But yeah, seeing them both together like that's really cool. And there are subtle differences in the graphic, of course. I wanted to make the graphic on the second one as close, like I said before, like as close to the original guitar as possible. So, and neither one of these guitars will age, and the white will not turn yellow over time, because I guess his original guitar was made from the older paint, and I think they used lacquer, as far as I can tell, and that paint over time tends to yellow, and which is really cool. I mean, I like the fact that it's aged, and but yeah, seeing them side by side like that, the Doctor's brother guitars. And when I made the first Doctor guitar, my skills have definitely increased and improved since the second. Since I made the second, because there's been like 30, 40 guitars that I made in between the two. And here's real quick of the back shot, and ran out of camera space, so yeah, it goes right to the photos. So this is the full photo shoot of the Doctor electric guitar build, and the neck and I changed my process, because before I just used cheap strings for the string test, the initial string test before the painting of the guitar. But this time around, this one and a few guitars prior to this, I started doing all the fret work and using the really good strings, because I learned something. When you have a really low and high fret, it can knock off your intonation to where you can't intonate the neck. So and I think it's always important to do all that prior to paint. That way, if you have to make any adjustments, if you have to move the bridge backwards, forwards, side to side, and but yeah, this guitar turns out really cool. And believe it or not, this is actually going to a friend of mine. His name's Wayne, and he lives in Omaha, Nebraska. So I'll be making a separate video of me actually creating the shipping container, which I'm going to use 1-inch and 2-inch styrofoam, and also with cardboard. So I'm gonna have a cardboard outer box and a cardboard inner box. And this guitar is gonna have to travel almost over 1,100 miles. And so I want it to arrive undamaged and unmutilated, because you know how these shipping companies tend to just kind of throw around things, and it is what it is. I mean, when you ship a guitar, you have to be really careful and make sure it's packed well. It's going to be a new experiment for me to create the shipping container, but I've got a really good idea of how I want to do it, because I just want to, like I said, but before I do that, I want to make sure this guitar is fully cured. I mean, I use a 2K clear coat, and it does have the two-part catalyst that the paint cures really well, but I want to make sure I give it at least a couple weeks more to fully cure. That way I don't have any issues to where the paint will stick to the shipping material, or leave any kind of indentations of where it sets on the styrofoam. I don't want any of that, so I want it to arrive perfect and pristine. Plus I want a little extra time with the instrument. That way, if there's any shifting, or if humidity gets to it and there's any kind of fret sprout or anything that needs to be done, dialed in the intonation and the action. And I'll probably ship it without string tension. That way there's no extra force on the guitar one way or the other. But I might elect to send it with string tension, because I want it to be equal as far as the neck joint. I don't want it to have more pressure one way or the other. So I probably will leave it in tune, or because I'm sure it'll change by the time it gets to Wayne, and he'll have to tune it up. It's not going to be in tune when he gets it or anything. So, but yeah, this is my child, my second attempt at this guitar. Lord forbid someone wants another. If I want to make a third one, as you see the process of this, if you watch this video from the beginning, it's fairly in-depth process. But yeah, I'm really satisfied with the overall result. I mean, the paint isn't 100% perfect. There are a few flaws here or there, but it's just something that I can see. Like the average person couldn't see it. But me, I'm always striving for the perfect finish.
and there's a couple spots where a little bit of lint got in the finish and a bug hit the finish, and I tried correcting it and everything like that, but I corrected it perfect. You can't notice, but I can see it. So but I have a really fine eye for things, and but in general, like I said, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of stress. It's definitely so worth it. I mean, when you see it completed, and I created a new template for the body. Luckily, I was able to find my template for the neck, the front of the neck, the inlay, the doctor inlay. So that was actually pretty cool. To recreate that would have been, yeah, the neck joint turned out just spot on perfect on this one, and it balances well. If you've seen the video of me playing it, I mean, it hangs right there. It's zero neck dive, and I think it's a tribute to Here's Me. So that's me right there. I always try to do a few pictures of me holding guitar in the guitar room, so that way just kind of saves it for prosperity. But thank you everybody for watching this build from start to finish and following me on my social media. If you have never seen me on Facebook, I post there daily on guitars that I work on, and it's Brian Pans Guitars, Brian Pans Guitars with no dash and three separate words actually. So, and here's both the guitars again, and it's really cool to see both the Doctors, and the body's shapes are fairly similar. I mean, I use the same template and everything like that from when I created the original. But yeah, that pretty much sums up my thoughts on the conclusion of this guitar build. And yeah, stay tuned. I'll show another series, another video too of me actually creating the shipping container that I'm gonna ship it to Wayne, and that'll be pretty cool. That's gonna be kind of neat. It's gonna be kind of a new experience for me because I have a really good idea what I want to do. But thanks again for watching, and I do appreciate everybody that watches my guitar builds, and I hope you have a good week, and stay tuned. I've got so much more left to do, and we'll see you on the next build. See you later.